Welcome to Madison City Channel's Know Your Candidates interviews, co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Dane County. I'm Joy Cardine, and I would like to introduce Goodwill Obieze, running for the Dane County Board of Supervisors from District 12. As we begin, please tell our viewers a bit about how your educational, vocational, and civic experience has prepared you for the position and why you decided to run for county board.
Thank you so much, Joy, and thank you so much to the League of Women Voters and the City of Madison for giving me this awesome opportunity. So my name is Goodwill Obieze. I migrated to the United States in 2010, and I moved to Madison in 2012, so early 2012, and I graduated from East High School in 2012, and I went to MATC here in Madison for 2 years college, and then I transferred to UW Oshkosh. And during my time at MATC, I was a student senate with Madison College Senate. I was a senator, and then also during my time in the Senate, we made sure that students textbooks are affordable, and as well as we also provided equal access to transportation between campuses. So the campuses in Madison and also our regional campuses. And also while I was in Oshkosh, I was part of student senator as well. And I was also elected as the student body vice president as well. And one of the reason I am running is time our it's time our local government act on the pandemic, and also it's time to help our local businesses. We can't just sit and wait for our federal government, the senators and the House of Rep to act, because it seems like they're taking their time. Thank you.
What issue or issues have you identified as being of primary concern to the residents of your district, and how would you approach them?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say, so one of the issues that I have that while I was talking to constituents is the F-35. And with the F-35, I am against the F-35 in our city and also in our county. And basically by having the F-35 jets into Madison, it will force or a lot of my constituents out of their homes due to environment concerns and impact. Like example, the noise, and I will work with our federal partners and to provide financial assistance to those that are impacted in this as well. And also my second issue is the water, the P5, and it is something that we should make that a crisis because we should be able to mitigate that problem. And I would propose my first couple days in the county supervisor and the board is to temporarily ban the fishing in those lakes that are affected until we have our health officials investigate the root cause of the contamination. And then, of course, the jail is something that I'm very concerned and bothered about. So thank you.
Sheriff David Mahoney has announced his retirement. What are the primary assets you think a new sheriff should have? What are the major questions facing a new sheriff?
Yeah, of course. And I did, first, I want to say congratulations to Sheriff Mahoney for his service to the county, as well as to the state of Wisconsin. While and to be a good sheriff's department or to be a good sheriff's one, that individual needs to be a servant first. He needs to be able to understand that it is not a political office or they're not politicians. They're there for the people of Dane County, and they have to have a good listening skills, and also they have to work with all the partners in Dane County, both state and federal government, and then also they also have to work with all the uh, other minority groups in Dane County to make sure that we have a very good criminal justice reform in our county.
Criminal justice reform is a hot issue in the community right now, with the pressures to ease the burdens of fines and bail
Mhm.
costs for people in poverty, running into pressures to step up enforcement. What is the role of the board in addressing these issues?
Of course, and so criminal justice is a big issue in our county, and it definitely affects my constituents. It definitely affects me as a minority. I would say in our county jail currently, approximately 50% of those in jail are Black, and I do not support the expansion of the jail. Rather, we need to use those funds in our mental health, and also we need to use those funds in our school. We need to, one, educate our future leaders, which are the leaders of tomorrow. We need to use some of those money to fund some scholarships to our high school students for them to be successful in college. We need to begin treating mental health as a health crisis versus a public safety crisis. And I just hope that we can allocate that such millions of dollars to those affected by the pandemic and our local businesses, and prioritizing vacant public properties. And then also in terms of our homelessness issue, I just want to say I know we and then also I acknowledge that the jail needs to be safe and also to be humane. I definitely support that, but we can achieve that without expanding the jail. And finally, I would assure that all persons in the jail have adequate access to healthcare needs, and I would also develop a decarceration plan informed by communities most impacted by incarceration. So if you want to, you can always check out my website, goodwillforcountyboard.com, for more information. Thank you.
What might the role of the county board in assuring the success of the proposed triage and restoration center for persons experiencing a mental health or drug crisis be?
Of course. So first, just picking back from my last answer right there in terms of uh, criminal justice reform. Like I stated, we need to make our we need to treat mental health as a health crisis. So first, we need to acknowledge that in the county as well as the city and the states in general, as even with the federal government in general. And so that is number one thing we need to do once we acknowledge that it is a health crisis. We will then move forward in terms of looking at resources that are there already, and also looking at ways to implement more resources, working with our institution, our mental health institutions, as well as working with the uh, Dane County Health Department, as well as the Wisconsin Department of Health Services in terms of mitigating those issues in our county.
Affordable housing has been a huge issue in Dane County. What suggestions do you have to try to meet the need?
Of course, one, I live on the north side of Madison, and I'm somebody that um, grew up in a public housing on the north side for many years, and I did see how much I did see the need. I did see that our community is growing, and therefore. Our housing options should also be growing, not just any housing options, but an affordable housing. I did, and I support the the project that is going on Packers Avenue and Strangling Avenue. So I definitely support that. That will at least give homes to a lot of my constituents, and a lot of my constituents that are homeless as well. And also working with the city of Madison in terms of in terms of looking at ways and places that we can develop housing that are accessible to or age or range of individual, that are bus accessible, that have sidewalks, and that are and making sure that it's safe for our community.
There are many COVID-19 related questions facing the county. What role does the board play in helping to meet them?
I'm sorry, so the issues facing the county, was that a question?
COVID-19 related questions facing the county. What role does the
Okay.
board play in meeting those needs?
Thank you so much, Joy. And I would say one of the reason I decided to run in 2021 is because of the pandemic. That was one of many reasons out of our life, a lot of our livelihood out of us. In my community, a lot of businesses are shut down, or some of them are reduced. They have less FTEs. And for example, if you even in Madison, if you walk down State Street, there are numerous number of businesses that are not coming back. And I strongly believe it is a responsibility of the city government as well as the county government to make sure that that we support our local businesses, that we also support those that are unemployed. So my first thing I'm going to do is to make sure to allocate more money to our local businesses. I did know that the county has done so, but it's not enough. So we need to keep doing more. I know we're waiting for the federal government to act, the Congress to act, but they're still wasting our time, and therefore we need our county government, our city government to jump in and help those of our local businesses and provide assistance to those that are affected by the pandemic. Thank you.
The county has been working toward environmental sustainability. What additional measures to protect or enhance the environment would you suggest or support?
Yeah, of course. So when it comes to the top issues in my district, District 12, is the F-35. That is something I'm really passionate about, as well as the P5 chemical. I'm really passionate about those, as well as many other sustainability issues or many other climate issues out there. I I I support that the city has passed and has the sustainable cars, the electric cars going. So I'll continue to push that to make sure that not just the auto industries, but as well as our housing needs to be sustainable as well. I went to UW Oshkosh, and UW Oshkosh is number one sustainable is one of the top sustainable universities in the country. And I am very proud of that. And that was one of the reasons I went there, that all our buildings, the water that we use, the electric that we use is sustainable. So I will bring those knowledges back to Dane County to make sure that our housing projects and our public services, as well as our private services, are sustainable enough. Thank you.
What would you like to say to the viewing audience as we complete this interview?
Yeah, so I just want to thank you all, and I want to thank you, Joy, and the League of Women Voters, as well as the City of Madison, for giving me this opportunity. So I'm gonna say I am a Black man who migrated into the United States, and from Nigeria, and over 10 years ago, who have lived in a low income housing in Madison North Side for over many years. And I grew up in a single parent home. I grew up here in Madison, from going to River Food Pantry to graduating from Madison East High School. From 2013 and 2015, I was a member of Madison College Senate. During my time at Madison College Senate, I fought to make sure that we have accessible transportation to students at MATC. I also fought to lower the cost of textbooks, and demand accountability from college leadership. I also took the same energy to UW Oshkosh, and I was elected as a senator and vice president with the student government. I am currently the youth vice president at my local church here in Madison. And I see myself as a progressive candidate, and someone that likes the city and the county to move forward versus moving back. So I believe that if you can elect me on February 16 and as well as on April 6, I will be your champion in the county board. Thank you all. God bless.
Thank you, Goodwill Obieze, for speaking with us, and to the viewing audience for taking the time to know your candidates. As with every election, please vote. On behalf of Madison City Channel and the League of Women Voters of Dane County, thank you for joining us.